Hello, and welcome to the third edition of Chit with the third power to the Sunn. We are a band based out of the Carolinas and enjoy coming together to discuss music, world events, and just life. Coming up, L-Dog spends a few days in the hospital. Find out why. A compelling statement on our new feature, Walter T. Johnson, It's Just My Opinion. And of course, the Sniper Sports Report, the crazy news with Anishka Dobbs, and the J Money Entertainment Report. Join us, L-Dog, Cebu, and myself, Ricky Deal. This is Chit Chat with the third power to the Sunn. This is our third edition. Can you believe that?
Yeah, Ricky Deal. It's our third roll, and it seems to be getting better as we go along. So let's make this one a good one for tonight.
Yeah, one thing I like the graphics that I'm putting in there. I'm starting to, it takes a little time to edit, but I like putting the graphics in. Maybe somewhere down the line, hopefully, every now and then, I was considering maybe doing an actual live broadcast where we'll record live and they can actually see us, and that'll be a great thing too. But we welcome you, and we a lot has happened since the last podcast. We've gone through some things with the weather. Puerto Rico's is in shambles right now, and of course we're going to send out a prayer to them. Of course, Cebu. Heard some things that are not too pleasing, but I'm not going to get into the politics of that, because I'll leave that to our new addition that we've added to Chit Chat with Third Power to the Sunn. We're going to have Walter T. Johnson III with It's Just My Opinion. So he will cover the politics side of it, because I won't get into it. It's just a big mess over there, and I'm just hoping that things will get better. There's still a lot of power out over there, and there's a lot of people who are homeless and still haven't received the necessary food and clothes and water, things that allow us to survive. There's still problems with getting all that stuff there.
Yeah, that's the sad part. On social media, they were showing pictures of people literally starving to death over there. And it's just a sad situation that's going on. We just have to keep them all in prayer, because the way things are going is just literally, it's like the world's going crazy, and something has to give.
Yeah, of course. And like I said, we go through the bumps in the road, life in general. We just have to keep moving and pick ourselves up, and we have to also be there for each other, be loyal to each other, and be there to give that helping hand. Puerto Rico is a part of us. They're a part of the United States. They're not actually a state, but we finance a lot of things that go on there, and a lot of their economy, and so we have to be there for them, just like we're there for Texas and all of the other states.
Yeah, Florida. But,
Florida. I didn't even mention Florida, and also got the Caribbean islands. Man, it's just so much at one time.
It seems to me it's a pick and choose situation of who gets helped, and how much.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And that's the sad thing about it. But hopefully we'll pull it together, and everybody get what they need, and we can do what we always do. We always come back. Our people always come back, and that's as Americans, and that's that's what I want to see, and I pray and for those who are going through it, the Las Vegas situation. We haven't even mentioned that.
Yeah, that was a terrible thing too. You know, you just never know. When you look at it, it just seems like society is just, I'll just use the word bananas as a whole, and it's really sad to see.
Just a lot of stress, and it's like we're gonna have to somehow or another pull this thing together. We're gonna have to find these people who have issues like this and try to nip it in the bud early. And when I say that early, I mean a lot of time it's school age. There are a lot of things boiling inside some of these kids, and eventually when they turn into adults, it finally comes out. Because I was checking out the background of that shooter in Las Vegas, and it had some fairly interesting things that went on in his life. No, his dad had done some things, and it's just kind of ironic. He had never had a serious criminal record or anything, and
Mhm.
all of a sudden, this.
Did he have a military background or anything?
I don't think he was in the military. I had to go back and check the background check that. I don't remember them saying anything about him being in the military, but I just know there were some things in his childhood, that he had to deal with his dad or something. His dad had issues. That's one thing I do remember hearing. But
Yeah.
mm, it's a sad thing, and I'm just glad they were able to stop him before he was able to do even more damage, because there quite a few people were injured, and several were fatally injured. So it's just one of those things. It's pretty sad.
Yeah, but it makes you think, what does a person really be thinking, and it's not just an overnight. It can't be, an overnight thought. It's like you say, it's time over time of build-ups, you know, until I guess you get to a point where you just can't take it anymore, but killing other people, that's not going to solve the issue.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Well, um, he started accumulating those guns. That had to been some type of a signal right there that something was going to eventually happen. Who needs that many guns, and who needs those type of powerful guns? And I was hoping, once they get on I'm pretty sure he had laptops, computers, and to find out, had he been communicating with somebody. That's how a lot of this stuff happens. People are communicating with people overseas, people that they'll never see. But what that gets me, how do you talk somebody into doing something and you way across the sea somewhere?
Well, there's been speculation that he may not have been the only person, you know.
That's true.
But, it's just hard to say. One never knows. But didn't he took his own life, didn't he?
Yeah, he had set up cameras all around his room that he had gotten at the hotel, and if anybody came up the stairs or up towards his room while he was shooting, he could see it in a monitor that was in the room with him. And so when he saw the police coming up the stairs, after he done all he could do at the time, they were closing in on him. He went ahead and took his own life.
Yeah, after he had done so much damage, But I've been to Mandalay Bay, and that's the hotel where he's been, correct? Where it happened.
Yeah, that's where it happened.
So it's like when you coming in, like if you're coming in from California way and you're coming into Las Vegas, Mandalay Bay is like one of the first hotels that you actually see coming in, and it's the last one that
Uh-huh.
you The last ones that be going out. It can easily take place because when you check into a hotel, the person that's checking you in is not really looking at how many baggages you have. So, you can easily go in and with 2 or 3 bags. No one knows what you have in, and no one's asking you what do you have in your bags. So it's easy to get those type of weapons and stuff inside a hotel room.
And I can see what you're
Besides,
saying.
no one is going to
Absolutely.
come and check on your door, knock on your door, to see, if you're okay, or outside of the housekeeper. But how often they only come in the mornings, unless you want something.
And he had the thing about that. He put the do not disturb sign out, I believe. That's why they didn't bother him. Initially they didn't, because once you put that do not disturb sign on your door, they won't come to clean your room or anything. That just says, hey, I don't want to have any services done at this time.
Right.
And also on top of that, he was very, from what I heard, he was very wealthy. And I guess his job, he made gambling his job. That's some of the reports that I'm seeing.
His brother was saying he didn't need the money. He didn't need money. So what really was the motive? Because something had to really trigger it, and his girlfriend is not really saying much because she allegedly doesn't know much.
Absolutely. She probably doesn't know too much, according to her and her. I think they interviewed her sisters.
Right.
But I think we got to take a little pause right here. I think we have the sniper report coming up, the sniper sports report.
Hey, this is your boy, the Sniper, here to give you the Sniper Sports Report. Listen, people are still talking about the great tennis exhibition that Sloane Stephens put on to win the U.S. Open Women's Tennis Championship. What I'm going to say is we can't do anything but tip our hat to Sloane Stephens. Sloane Stephens is playing the best tennis of her life. Now, I'm going to be honest. When they got down to the 4, which was a great feat for American tennis, the last 4 people left in the tennis tournament were Venus Williams, Sloane Stephens, Coco Vandeweghe, and Madison Keys. I was going for the sentimental favorite, Venus Williams. And Sloane Stephens was able to win that match. And she ended up playing Madison Keys, who beat Coco Vandeweghe. To be honest, I thought that Madison Keys was going to overpower Sloane Stephens and go ahead and win that championship. But I was really, really shocked how convincingly that Sloane Stephens handled Madison Keys. So what I'm going to say is I feel as though Sloane Stephens is positioning herself to take over and be the face of American tennis when Venus and Serena Williams go ahead and retire for good. One thing I can say is Sloane Stephens, if she wasn't a household name, she's going to be one now. When she was hurt, she had a chance to sit on the sideline and reflect about her tennis. Now, the knock on Sloane Stephens was that she didn't work hard, that Sloane Stephens did not give it her all. And people don't realize this. Remember, she is a tennis player. When you sit on the sideline and you hurt and you're not playing, you're not making any money. You don't get no money when you don't go and play in the tournament. She sat on the side like, look, I need to make some changes. My cash is low. I need to bounce back. And that is exactly what Sloane Stephens has done. So kudos to Sloane Stephens for being the professional, her biggest thing is she needs to change her mindset, and Sloane Stephens has done that. So kudos to you, Sloane Stephens, and we're going to wish you a lot of success for the future. And it is time for me to come to the end of my segment. And listen, let me send this back to the crew. My boy, Ricky Deal. All right, till later, the sniper.
Thank you very much there, Sniper. One thing, Cebu, didn't you kind of notice someone's missing from amongst us today?
Yeah. Our boy L Dog.
Yeah, L Dog. Well, yeah, L Dog had went home to visit with family in Alabama. That's where he's originally from. He's, I think, he's from Dalton, Alabama. I say Alabama. I'm going to say Alabama. But anyway, he gave me a call, and we were just talking, and we were talking about how much, he was talking about how much he loved oysters. Okay, I like oysters too. So maybe a day later, I get a text from his wife, from Robin, and she said in the text, yeah, L Dog's in the hospital. And so, I said, well, I think I was at work in my other job, and I said, I give you a call back. And by that time, L Dog gave me a phone call, and he said he had eaten some bad oysters, and he wound up having to be taken to the hospital.
Wow.
And, yeah, but the thing about it, he was telling me that he eats the oysters raw, and that I can't do. I have to always, if I eat oysters or anything like that, anything seafood, I don't care what it is, it has to be boiled or fried or whatever.
Well, see, I don't eat all that stuff. I eat the basics of seafood, which is shrimp and crabs, and an occasional lobster. But when it comes to those other sea critters, I don't mess with them. If I deal with an oyster, I'm looking for a pearl. And the way my luck is, I probably wouldn't find one. So, hey, I just leave it alone.
Yeah. Well, one of my favorite seafoods is shrimp. And shrimp, and I enjoy it, but I can't eat it raw. It has to be breaded. For some reason, it makes me kind of sick when I eat it that way. But I received a text back, and he's out of the hospital, but he won't be back to the Carolinas, until maybe a few more days. The doctor suggested that he not return, just kind of relax there and where he's at, for a while, and then come on back to the Carolinas.
Yeah, well, he got to come on back because we got to get this music going.
That's right. Yeah, we're gonna have to get back on some rehearsal because I know the holidays are coming up, and we're probably gonna have a few gigs here and there to play.
Yeah, and I'll just be praying that he makes a full recovery and he can return on back to the Carolinas.
That's right. Well, he's doing better, but like I said, he's just following doctor's protocol. So hopefully, like I said, he'll be back soon. And of course we miss him off the podcast. You know you're gonna hear his voice.
Right, and he'll make it interesting.
You will make it interesting.
So.
But anyway, we'll go ahead and take a pause right here. I think we have the crazy news with Anishka Dobbs.
Crazy news.
Ridiculous news. Let's see what's going on that's ridiculous these days. Here's Anishka with the crazy news.
Hello there, everyone. It's Anishka Dobbs again with your crazy news. Slimed. Truck spills ton of goo-producing eels. A truck that overturned on an Oregon highway created an ooey, gooey, sticky, and slimy mess when it spilled 7,500 pounds of slime eels, or aka hagfish, into the highway. The mishap turned into a 4-car pileup, looking like a sci-fi movie after one vehicle was struck by a container from the truck and was coated with slime. The little creatures secrete a slimy substance when they are stressed. According to King 5 News in Seattle, Washington, the live eels were going to be shipped to Korea for consumption. Fortunately, there were no serious injuries, just complete, utter disbelief. Yucky. Birthday suit swims. In Salisbury, Massachusetts, 2 people decided to go swimming in their birthday suits at Salisbury Beach. It wasn't very discreet, though, because unaware of their audience, there was a wedding party at a nearby restaurant watching the whole display. I believe this wedding day will not be forgotten anytime soon, and it will be the talk of the town for days to come. A 29-year-old male and 20-year-old female were charged with disorderly conduct, according to the Boston Globe. The bride did give them credit for withstanding the cold water, though. The ultimate bucket list. In Des Moines, Iowa, a man led police on a 10 to 15-minute car chase when he refused to stop for a trooper around 7:30 in the morning. After finally stopping, the 46-year-old driver said he was just fulfilling his bucket list and he wanted to get chased by the police. Wow, I could just imagine what was on that bucket list. Trip to Hawaii, check. Parachute from a plane, check. Bungee jump from a bridge, check. Get chased by the police and possibly lose my license and get sent to jail. Check, check, and check. He was taken into custody, and it's unknown what charges were filed. According to Associated Press, State Patrol Sergeant Scott Bright said he had never heard such an excuse in his 28 years of policing. Time traveler. According to HuffPost, a Wyoming man claimed to be a time traveler from the year 2048, and he is here to warn mankind for a coming alien invasion. He was also requested a conference with the president of the town. His warning drew eyebrows in a police call. Brian Johnson told the police that he was able to time travel because aliens filled his body with alcohol. He said that he stood on a giant pad, which then transported him to the year 2017. But he said it was meant for him to get sent to the year 2018. Well, I guess the Casper police officers were not convinced, and the poor alleged time traveler was charged with public intoxication. His blood alcohol concentration was 0.136, according to reports, and this time he was beamed from that same pad to Natrona County Detention Center. There, he can warn the other inmates of this extraterrestrial breach into our world. At least he has his story straight. Tell it to the judge. Please leave comments below. Back to the crew. Hey, Cebu.
And thanks, Anishka, for that crazy news.
But as we were talking about earlier, missing our loyal and faithful comrade, L-Dog. So it looks like I will be doing the artist talk for this edition of Chit Chat with Third Power to the Sun.
Oh, yeah? And who you going to talk about?
Well, I'm going to discuss one of the greatest recording artists of all time. It's a female, actually. She's the one that brought you, in today's music, your Beyonce, your Britney Spears, and your Rihannas, and that kind of, those type of high caliber recording artists and entertainers. Her name is Tina Turner.
Oh wow, Tina Turner.
Yeah,
That's
Tina
a bad
Turner.
chick.
Oh yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. So that's what
Yes.
Artist Talk will be on. And we'll take a pause right here. And we have a new edition of that's going to be a part of us now. It's entitled Walter T. Johnson III. It's Just My Opinion. And he's going to be kicking a little politics to you. And I hope you enjoy it. This is something new. And we'll check it out. I think it's going to be pretty interesting.
I can't wait to hear him.
So without further ado, let's give it to Walter T. Johnson III. It's just my opinion.
Hello, Boo, and thank you for having me. My name is Walter Johnson, and this is Just My Opinion. Last weekend, we saw the NFL, led by its owners, unite and show solidarity. But what are they uniting against, and what are they showing solidarity for? Was it racism? Was it injustice? Was it police brutality? Was it economic injustice? No. It was simply against Donald Trump and calling out NFL owners, telling them what they should do and how they should run their business, and to fire any of those SOBs that knelt or didn't stand for the national anthem. You see, the NFL owners, some of whom had told their players not to kneel, knelt to show unity against being told what to do. Funny, huh? These billionaires did not unify when Colin Kaepernick knelt for racial injustice and against police brutality, but they did when Trump tried to tell them what to do and threatened the NFL brand. When they did that, they not only stood up, they took a knee. And what's crazy is that the worst thing that Trump has said has not been about the NFL. When he called women pigs, the owners didn't unify. When he said grab women by their private parts, the owners didn't unify. When he insulted the family of a veteran who died in war, they didn't unify. When he called John McCain, one of the greatest men in the United States, a POW of Vietnam, a war loser, for being captured, they didn't unify. They unified for monetary purposes because Trump attacked the NFL brand. What most people don't know is that prior to 2009, most teams weren't even on the field when the national anthem was played. But in 2009, the NFL was paid $12.5 million by the United States Armed Forces to come out during the anthem as a recruiting tool for the armed forces of the United States. So the NFL owners don't care about the flag. They don't care about injustices. They're just going along with this because it's about the money. It's about their brand. Nobody went back and said, okay, now that we're solidified and we're showing solidarity, let's give Colin Kaepernick a job. No, they didn't say that. And yes, he's better than half of the starting quarterbacks in the league. Nobody apologized to Colin for seeing through this mess before everybody else did. Furthermore, Colin Kaepernick got the idea to kneel from a veteran who told him sitting down is a slap in the face to veterans. But if you kneel, that's the same thing we do when we show respect to our fallen comrades in battle. So he was showing respect for his fallen comrades who'd been killed by the police, who had been harassed, who had been going through stuff for years and years and has not been addressed. And lastly, I'm tired of these hypocrites like Ray Lewis and LaShawn McCoy, who spoke out against Colin Kaepernick, and then they knelt Sunday. Ray Lewis, who said he would never kneel because he felt a certain way about the flag and his family members and uncles who served in the country. And he was down there on two knees and then tried to excuse it away that he wasn't kneeling, he was praying. And McCoy, he didn't even kneel. He stretched and showed more contempt for the flag than kneeling does. He too, along with Ray Lewis, Jim Brown, and the NFL owners and Donald Trump, are a joke. And I will continue my boycott of the NFL. I refuse to support a racist, classist group of owners who like to look at players only as property. And I encourage you too to boycott as well. But that's just my opinion. What's yours? You can hit me on Facebook at Walter T. Johnson III, or on Twitter at Walter Johnson 03. Hey, crew, I hope you have a great day. Back to you, Cebu.
Thanks, Walter T. Johnson, for your political view. Now, sitting in for L Dog, here's Ricky Dill with Artist Talk.
To put this in perspective, long before the popularity and powerful stage presence of Beyonce, who told us she was crazy in love and told single ladies he should have put a ring on it, long before Fantasia said, I believe, before Britney Spears said, baby, hit me one more time, and a little bit before Whitney Houston told us, I will always love you, and Mariah Carey, who said, we belong together, And let's not forget Janet Jackson, who said she was in control. There was a pioneer, high-energy performer by the name of Tina Turner, who said, "What's love got to do with it? I'm your private dancer," and took us on a ride aboard the Proud Mary. Tina Turner started out singing in a church, born Anna Mae Bullock on November 26, 1939 in Nutbush, Tennessee. Tina Turner emerged as a prominent musical entertainer. Her stage name was given to her by a songwriter and musician, Ike Turner, she met at a club, who later became her husband. She prospered after becoming a part of Ike Turner's band. She was a crowd pleaser. Ike exploited that by changing the name to the Ike and Tina Review. After a successful recording titled "A Fool in Love" became a hit, the band drew mass appeal with their energetic performances with backup singers and dancers. They were very popular in Europe, but lackluster success in the US. This changed after becoming the opening act for the Rolling Stones on tour, and later releasing the album Working Together, which featured the acclaimed Slow to Fast remake of Proud Mary. Her vocal delivery and dance moves while performing Proud Mary became distinguished. After a later turbulent relationship, Tina left Ike, giving up everything except her stage name. She struggled to care for her children and had to rely on food stamps. She would clean houses for people to make ends meet. She later found new success after remaking Let's Stay Together by Al Green. She would soon release the album Private Dancer, and the rest is history, along with appearances in movies and also contributing to movie soundtracks. In 2008, she felt that she accomplished all of her goals financially and as an artist. So she decided to retire from touring and now resides as a citizen of Switzerland.
All right, Ricky D, thank you for that artist talk. Okay, now we're going to introduce our latest single. And here it is, We Need a Solution.
People, get ready. There's a change about to come in a world full of hatred. No one seems to know what's going on. People are divided by a culture or the color of their skin. We need a solution to find peace, peace within. Oh, why can't we love each other? Why can't we do it? Why can't we do it? Why must we kill our sisters and brothers? Let's find a place called solidarity. Love is all we need. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, why can't we just love each other? Yeah. Why can't we do it? Why can't we do it? Why can't we live like sisters and brothers? We need a solution. The world's in confusion. Can't solve the problems of the wrong, or to talk about building a wall. We need it. We keep searching for a better way to unite the human race. We need it. Oh, we need. Say we need it. Love we need. Said we need, yeah, love we need. Said we need.
Well, coming now, it's J Money with the Entertainment Report.
What's happening, Saba family? Live from the ATL with the players as well. It's your boy J Money with this week's Entertainment Report. Hey, got a lot of dirt out there, man. A lot of dirt going on in the news. Right now, one of the big stories outside of everything that Donald Trump has going on is Harvey Weinstein, mega movie producer, has been accused of rape and sexual misconduct by several actresses over decades. I'm talking like 3 decades, man. He's out there trying to get what he's not supposed to have, And I'm talking, we have heavy hitters coming out saying stuff like Angelina Jolie, Mira Sorvino, Gwyneth Paltrow. Matter of fact, with Gwyneth Paltrow, it allegedly occurred, when she was in her early 20s and she was dating Brad Pitt. So your boy tried to push up on her, do whatever he did. Gwyneth went back, told Brad Pitt, hey, he confronted him. He's not playing. Hey, look, whatever you did, what you tried to do, hey, never let it happen again. It's going to be some drama. So, dudes like this, man, they got all this power. Once again, it's alleged, but, they have all this power and think they can do, whatever they want to do. And it's sad, man. These women out here trying to get their shot and looking for the fame and fortune. And unfortunately, they have to deal with characters like this, Even President Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton came out to condemn him because he was a longtime supporter of the Democratic National Party as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. Along the same lines, you got your boy Nelly out here in trouble again. Now, about a year or so ago, Nelly was arrested for having marijuana on his tour bus. Now, he's been arrested off the tour bus again for having unwarranted sexual acts with a female. So he's being accused of raping a 21-year-old woman in Seattle, Washington, on his tour bus. So people pulled her on. She wanted to get on the bus with Nelly, whatever. He pushed up on her, did whatever, and told her to get off, and basically threw $100 at her. So I don't know, man. Hey, you're a target when you're out here in the media. Make sure y'all do what you're supposed to do, man. Make sure y'all do what y'all supposed to do. You already got the fame and fortune. Switching gears, though, another beef. We have Rock and Tyrese going back and forth on Instagram because of the whole Fast and Furious franchise. So Rock and Jason Statham have accepted and offered to do a spinoff from the Fast and Furious. And Tyrese wasn't having it, man. Tyrese was like, basically, The Rock came in and, broke up the family. And he said that he and other cast members had offers to do spinoffs, and they decided not to do it because they wanted to keep the family together. And he called The Rock a clown. Now, I know how big The Rock is, and I know how big Tyrese is. And I don't know if he would do that face to face, but I don't know. We'll keep an eye on that and see how things develop. Last but not least, I don't know if you saw what Eminem did to Donald Trump on the BET Awards during his cipher. But if Donald Trump wants a war of words with someone, going back and forth on Twitter, talking all this junk about folks, hey, he has the right one in Eminem, because Eminem is a fool. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. Well, that's my time. Definitely appreciate y'all tuning in. Hey, please continue to support. Leave your comments. And, we love to hear from you. Hey, back to the crew. It's on you, Ricky Deal. You got it.
Thank you, J Money, for that entertainment report coming out of the ATL.
Okay, Ricky Dill, I think we better go ahead and wrap it up. You want to take us home?
All right there, Cebu. I want to thank everyone for stopping by Chit Chat with the third power to the sun. Catch you next time. And once again, shout out and prayers to those in Puerto Rico and other places who have endured the storms, along with the shooting in Las Vegas, all of the victims' families. You have our prayers. L-Dog, Cebu, and myself look forward to hanging out with you again. Please come back. God bless. I'm Ricky Deal.